All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about a warning to Errol Spence from the camp of JARON Bozy Ennis about what he plans to do with Keith Thurman. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division where JARON Ennis's father and trainer issues a strong warning to Errol Spence Jr. about the risks of going to 154 pounds to fight Keith Thurman and coming back down to 147 pounds to fight anybody else in that division. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, I have to always start a video with thanking you guys for your support in the super chats and the cash apps and the super thanks in videos like this, which you can see on the bottom by the like button. If you scroll all the way to the right, it is a little heart and a dollar sign and a way to support the channel. So let's get into this, man. Big risks for Errol Spence Jr. if he is trying to go to 154 and come back down to 147. According to Bozy Ennis, who is the trainer of JARON Ennis, who is at present the IBF interim champion and the mandatory for Errol Spence Jr. If he were to come down, if he was to stay at 147 and defend his IBF, WBA, and WBC titles. And basically what Bozy points out is that there is a big risk in going up and coming back down because you really you allow your body to put on muscle, you allow your body to get accustomed to weighing that, and that you're pretty much that your body has a memory. Right. And if you allow it to sit at that weight class and then come back down, then really, really bad things can happen. You may actually have a harder time making 147 after you go up. And he points to examples like what happened with Roy Jones Jr. Now, if you're not familiar with Roy Jones Jr., please leave the room because something ain't right. Roy Jones Jr. is a fighter who is a Hall of Fame level fighter, won titles at 160, moved up to 168. Actually, I think he started at 154, moved up to 160, beat Bernard Hopkins and James Toney at 160 pounds. Right there, dude, that's Hall of Fame level stuff. And honestly, I'm thinking right now of who has in the last 25 years has two wins on their record better than Bernard Hopkins and James Toney at 160. So a complete monster. Goes to 168, wins the title at 175, and then jumps from 175 all the way up to 100, all up to heavyweight. And he fights, you know, a current heavyweight fighter, a current heavyweight titleist at the time, goes by the name of John Ruiz. I do believe he's the only Puerto Rican heavyweight champion. Winds up beating him and becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. At that point in time, if Roy Jones Jr. had stopped fighting after that fight, it would be very, very difficult for anybody to say that that is not, you know, one of the best fighters ever, if not the best, because that's just extraordinary going from that weight, going all the way up in that weight. There are, you know, some other people that were able to do it, you know, for like in a year, like what happened with Henry Armstrong in 1936, where he had the 126, 147, and 100, and actually 126, 135, and 147 titles, and then also challenged for the middleweight title. Many people suspect that he won that fight very clearly. However, it was there's a lot of drama around that fight. You should research it. But anyway, all that to say, there are people that move up and down in weight. But what happened with Roy Jones Jr. when he moved back down? When he moved back down and fought at 175, he comes back to fight Antonio Tarver, southpaw fighter out of Florida as well. Somebody that had been in the amateurs with him, knew had a game plan for Roy Jones Jr. He winds up fighting Antonio Tarver. The first fight, a lot of people think that Antonio Tarver won. And then in the second fight, Antonio Tarver knocks Roy Jones Jr. out cold. Then he moves on, and I'm going to tell you, I was there for this fight. He goes down to Memphis, fights Glenolf Johnson, Jamaican fighter. I think he went by the name of the Road Warrior. And man, I had some nosebleed seats for that one. However, man, wow, he hit that canvas hard. Boom, got knocked out. And I do believe he's got knocked out several times after that. So his body just did not, once he put all that muscle on to go up to heavyweight and come back down, his body just did not respond well when he came back down. So Errol Spence Jr. allowing his body to put on at 154, 7 pounds higher. Now, obviously, that is not as severe a move up as what Roy Jones Jr. did, which was what Bozy Ennis was citing. I think I suspect that Roy Jones Jr. came in that ring somewhere around 196, like right underneath 200 pounds. But I mean, like I said, I was at the casinos. I was there at the time, and I've seen Roy Jones in person. Roy Jones Jr., from my perspective, is a small guy. Now, John Ruiz wasn't the biggest guy in the world either. Matter of fact, I remember seeing John Ruiz, coming by some party, but he had his sweatsuit on or whatever. It was after the weigh-in, and I thought, man, John Ruiz isn't a very big guy either, right? I would say maybe 6'2", 6'2", maybe 210, something like that, but not a tremendously big guy. But regardless, Roy Jones Jr. is a small guy, may have got up to 200 pounds, but to go from 200 back down to make 175, he clearly had to take a lot of that muscle off of him. And so it just completely shattered him. Now, just going back down from 150 to 147 may have that problem, may cause some type of problem like that for Errol Spence Jr. as well. And, going into a fight with a guy like JARON, or going in there with Stanionis or somebody like that, may not necessarily be the best move for him. However, seeing as there's been certain events that have taken place over the last day or two, where it seems like Terence Crawford has decided, or at least he's considering, let me say it the right way, he's considering signing with Golden Boy for fights with Alexis Rocha and Virgil Ortiz. There may not be a reason for Errol Spence Jr. to stay down there, and he can start campaigning at 154 pounds, where there really are a lot of good fights. As many good fights there left for him there as there are, or more than there are at the welterweight division, which he pretty much, especially if he fights and beats Keith Thurman, would all have been, basically would have cleaned out everybody that was willing to fight him, or is not, a young contender under the age of 26, right? So anyway, we'll see in the long run what happens. Just wanted to give you that information from the Ennis camp. I thought it was interesting, provides, some type of understanding of why certain people will make moves in the boxing world. But with that, let me know what you think in the comment section, and I am out. Deuces.